probably do the advocacy first.
Do you have any out of custodies that you want to handle, Mr. Gates?
Yes, sir, and I can handle 2 on the 130 docket real quick.
Okay.
I'll call Shelby Green. After Ms. Green will be Dennis Hunter, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hunter, Green and Hunter. Your Honor, this is Ms. Green before the court. At this time, we'll enter a not guilty plea.
Very good. The court will accept the not guilty plea. We'll come back on
October 9th.
October 9th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Make sure she gets her information.
Next I've got, Your Honor, is going to be Dennis Hunter. Mr. Hunter is here in 23 CF 1822. At this time, we're going to enter a not guilty plea, and he is currently scheduled for October the 9th.
Very good. The court will enter the not guilty plea and we'll come back October 9th for pretrial, 9 a.m.
In custody.
Mr. Medina, if you're not ready to go right now, we can do
I
a
can
few.
go with my inmates from the
We've also
morning.
got some that don't have attorneys. It's up to you.
I can go however you want me to do, but I haven't talked to my out-of-custody people because I've been talking to the inmates. So should I do the ones from this morning that were inmates, or does Mr. Gates?
Yeah.
I'm good. You're good to go, Mr. Medina.
So I can do my in-custody from this morning is the most efficient way to do it. Your Honor.
Perfect.
We've got Balkan, Cooper, Please, and then the third gentleman will be a continuance.
Okay.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Billy J. Balkan from this morning in 21 CF 1742. This is a violation of probation situation, Your Honor, where he had been offering 6 months jail. The state's offer, I think, was 12-month prison. And I'm putting this on the record because there's a moving part here. He's asked me to ask her about something. Okay. He's wanting to know, could we work it out with 6 months jail followed by a year of probation with reinstatement instead of the community control because he has housing difficulties?
And I already got work and everything. It's just the homeless situation makes it a little difficult.
I'm not prepared to answer that right this minute, but you'll give me a second.
Okay. I'm sorry, Judge, could we put him back there one more time? Because he gave me something else in addition to the one that I had put on the table to the prosecutor.
That's fine.
It's a bit confusing. Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
Tell him he needs to come right back out, so tell him not to bring him back. JJ, I'm putting Balkan back in, you can stay in there.
Your Honor, Steve Medina with Christopher R. Bobbin in 23 CF 667, 23 CF 657, 21 CF 152, 21 CF 917, 21 CF 993. Your Honor, we had a productive discussion with the state about a potential plea to the bench agreement with a cap. But based on talking to Mr. Bobbin, I need to get him evaluated by a professional. It's not a competence issue, but it's something that will help him make a well-informed decision on whether to do that plea to the bench with a cap. So I'm asking to continue the case, and I will put on the record also, I've discussed with him, we're going to get him evaluated for Phoenix House. He's been accepted for Keaton, but because of dual diagnosis type issues, I think that it's in his best interest to have that option for the court if were he to plea to the bench. So we'll get him evaluated for that as well, Your Honor.
Okay, how far out do we need to continue this? Because this is the last miscellaneous, let's see. Yeah, well, next week is miscellaneous.
Yeah, there's no way we could get
So October 12th?
I think it's going to have to be that much time, Your Honor. If we can move it up, we will, but
Okay.
we'll be hard pressed to get the evaluations done
Sure.
by then. But
So
we'll do
let's
our best.
continue this to October 12th.
I think that's better than making a decision today. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
And if the state will keep that option open for him to plead the bench, thank you.
You ready? Taylor, you ready to bump in this afternoon?
Thank you.
How long you need?
Your Honor, Steve Medina before the court with Joshua K. Cooper and 20 CF 2872. We have an agreement that he is signing, Your Honor, for a plea to the bench with a 20-month cap. You ready to sign?
Yeah.
State's already agreed to it, but Ms. Sharpless does need to sign it. And I'm going to give probation a copy. May I approach, Your Honor? And I'm not bringing the score sheet up because this is going to be a plea to the bench to be set, Your Honor.
Very good.
Under the agreement, Joshua King Cooper is resolving the felony VOP with an admission of the VOP. He was previously adjudicated guilty. He's pleading to the bench with a cap agreed with the state on DOC of 20 months with credit for all time served. And I would note that that is the amount that was on a suspended sentence that was originally imposed on June 22nd, and that's with credit for all time served. He's agreeing that there will be no cap on probation. So there would have been a cap on 20 months that would have been comprehensive, but he's removing it as to probation because he's been accepted at Phoenix House and is going to be asking the court to consider sending him to Phoenix House in lieu of going to DOC, which you've never been to prison before, have you? How old are you?
24.
Your Honor, if we could, I don't think we are asking for a pre-sentence report, so we waive that unless the court wants to order it, if the state is asking for it, we can have it set fairly soon, hopefully.
Your Honor, I think this case is fine without PSI.
We probably would want to, I'd probably want to do a pre-sentencing letter, a informal letter.
You'll be able to provide whatever you want.
Yes, sir.
That.
Right, so we don't.
The question is whether probation has to be. So, okay, I'll waive it. If you all choose not to do it, I'll waive it. Mr. Cooper, would you raise your right hand? You swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the true self you got.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Cooper, even though we still have the sentencing part of this, really the guts of the plea agreement still remaining, you are entering into an agreement that does limit you, only obviously with that cap on it, but you are agreeing by entering this plea and sentencing agreement, you are admitting the violation of probation, and you're agreeing to a obviously a cap on the amount of incarceration, but not a cap on the any type of additional or in place of incarceration, probation. You understand that? You understand that basic concept? Now, you are waiving some rights. You're waiving the right to go to a trial and contest all this and to force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, it's a DOP's, and
What
there
did I
was
say?
no new law. You said beyond a reasonable doubt.
Thank you. It would be on preponderance of the evidence on a violation of probation, a little lower standard. But you're waiving the right to go to a trial, force them to prove their case, okay? You understand that? You've had that explained to you? So, main thing, I just want to make sure that you're entering into this knowingly, freely and knowingly. I see you've signed the plea agreement. Have you read it and gone over it in detail with your attorney? You had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any further questions about the legal issues and stuff regarding this plea agreement?
I do not.
Okay, very good. Based upon that, the board will accept your plea agreement and accept the admission of the violation of probation. You were previously adjudicated guilty, and the court will schedule a sentencing. When do you want to try and do a sentence?
I think we could do it sooner rather than later, because it's really just going to involve advocacy letters.
How much? You probably couldn't do it next week.
We would be willing to, but the court schedule may not permit it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one day. I don't know what we have in the afternoon on the 19th, Madam Clerk.
We would like to do it on the 19th if we can.
Okay. I forgot about to get myself in trouble. This is an afternoon hearing, so you got to call Miss Eileen and set it.
Okay, Your Honor.
We might be able to do it on the 19th, may not. If you said that we've only got 2, we might be able to do it if you guys can get it done. So she'll just get you on there and get that done.
Okay, Your Honor.
But certainly, we can get it done, you know, the next date or so.
Thank
Okay.
you. To be determined.
You're in for Boykin? Or, yeah, Bob?
Not yet. Can you go back for a few minutes?
Talking back for a few minutes, please.
The state hasn't had a chance to consider.
What about, we had one more from this morning, the Daniels case?
That was a gentleman who's in federal custody. I think there was some discussion when I was out of the courtroom. I don't know what the discussion was, but he's not here and is in federal custody.
Right. What did we have? We did have a discussion, and I'm trying to remember what we discussed.
Yes, Judge, so he's in federal custody.
We wanted to come back because we didn't want to do anything without you being here, Mr. Medina.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's right.
We wanted to continue it
Right.
so that we can figure out what's going on with the...
But we didn't want to do that without you being present.
Thank you. And that sounds like a good idea.
Lovely.
Okay, so how far out do we need to schedule?
It really depends on how long it'll take for the federal authorities to advise the state.
You want to just come back in a month and we can kind of figure out at least where we're at?
That sounds great, thank you.
Does that sound good?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll continue this until October 12th
Thank you.
in the morning. Okay.
And I'm going to step out and talk to the out of custody, Your Honor.
Okay. Very good. Let's go ahead and do a few. There's a few folks that are here that do not have attorneys. And if you are here on a plea day or arraignment, and you do not have an attorney, listen up, because some of the things so I don't have to repeat, you'll kind of hear the same thing over and over again. So the purpose of today's hearing is merely to enter a plea. That's the purpose of it. This is not a substantive hearing, this is a procedural hearing. So, you know, when I talk about entering a plea, it's guilty or not guilty. Now, sometimes the state will make an offer to you, particularly if it's not an incarcerative plea, and you're welcome to consider that. However, I would say I'm not pushing you or even encouraging you to do that. You do have a right to have an attorney appointed. That's very important. So when you come up, that's the first thing I'm going to ask you. I'm going to announce the case. I'm going to ask you, do you want an attorney? Okay? And what I will do, if you accept, well, in any event, you accept the attorney, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. And the reason for that is that entering a not guilty plea basically freezes everything. You don't give up any of your rights. So it's a way of kind of just continuing with status quo. Then it gives you, I'll announce when you're coming back for the next hearing. I'll give you a chance to meet with your attorney, figure out what your options are. Again, if the state wants to make an offer, they can at this early time, but unless you're very clear about it, I would suggest you talk to your attorney first. But you do have a right, if you want to enter into a plea, get it done with, you don't want to come back and sit around in court, get it done, you're welcome to do that. Okay? So let's begin. At the time, if you'll just come down to the podium. Miss Olivia Anderson. Would the state announce the case?
Yes, Your Honor, this is 23 CF 1643.
The state wanting to, I'm not, you don't, if you're not prepared today,
Sorry, I had it pulled up a minute.
They're all paperless, Your Honor. We'll take them a little longer now.
just have to anticipate.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Almost all the state attorneys is paperless.
Are the computers as slow in courtrooms as they are in my office?
Yes,
down the
they
hall?
are. It is pulled up, I promise. Your Honor, the state is offering it's a 24 months probation offer, Your Honor. I do not think Ms. Anderson has ever been on probation before. If she wants to hear more about that, I'll be glad to tell the full offer, but if she wants to speak to an attorney before she takes probation offer, then it'd be wise if we appointed the public defender if she's
So,
going to qualify.
first question, ma'am, do you wish to have an attorney appointed? Yes, please. Court will appoint the public defender.
Thank you.
And unless you're really anxious to accept their plea, I would suggest we just enter a not guilty plea. As I said, it'll protect your rights, and we'll come back on October 9th at 9 a.m. In the meantime, if you'll meet up with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you look at your office.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
Stephen Bowles. Stephen Bowles. State, announce the case.
Your Honor, Mr. Bowles is charged with interference with custody of single account in case number 231807.
And Mr. Bowles does not appear to be here.
State would ask for a no bond capias, Your Honor.
Court will issue a no bond capias. Miss Janet Carr.
Your Honor, Ms. Carr's case was actually null pros by the state, I believe,
Okay.
at the beginning of August.
Very good. Thank you for letting me know that. Robin Cook.
Your Honor, the state has a plea in absentia for Mr. Cook, if I can approach the bench.
Okay. Is this a misdemeanor plea?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Cook has signed a notarized plea in absentia. He is going to plead to no valid driver's license, credit for time served, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you. I may have a hard time with this last name. Uralin Del Rosario Jermosin.
Your Honor, I will tell the court, Mr. Bowles is actually, I'm looking at his mugshot, he's actually outside. I think he thinks he's with Mr. Medina. He was
Oh, really?
asking about that earlier.
I appreciate you telling me that.
I just happened to pull it up and I remember seeing it's the earring that gave it away.
Okay, we'll double back. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Mr. Medina announced and several went outside. I don't know if they're all represented by him or not.
Okay, well, we'll come back. If he's here, obviously, we'll deal with that. So is Mr. and Ms. Del Rosario here? No. State?
Your Honor, at this time, the state will ask for KPS.
And what is the case number? 23 CF 1809. Court will issue a no bond KPS.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the notice to appear on the RR bond on De La Rosa is for September 13th.
Your Honor, the state would,
And where would that be on September 13th?
I have no
I
clue.
don't have a court hearing that day.
thank you, Mr. Gates. Your Honor, then if we could put that case on next Tuesday's docket, then we'll try to readdress it at that time.
Okay. Continue it to September 19th. That'll be in the afternoon at 1:30, it'll continuation of the hearing. Okay. And the next is Fennell, and this may have been an added, it's an inmate.
He's an inmate, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that yours?
I'll wait for him to come up, but.
I've got him as a no attorney, but if you've got him, that's fine.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court remembers, I was actually representing Mr. Fennell in another case
Right.
last month, and in that case, the court had signed an order finding Mr. Fennell incompetent to proceed.
Right.
Subsequently, Mr. Fennell was arrested and charged with this case. I have an order finding him incompetent. I don't think the state's going to object to the court signing that order, considering they did one last month.
I didn't know this was going to happen, so Judge, if you could pass this case so I can review the prior record, that would be very helpful.
Sure.
Thank you.
I just had to capture the expression on your face, as in like, what are you talking about? Now, I
Let's-
understand this is a
So
surprise.
my question
That's
would
fine.
be, if he was incompetent to proceed, why wasn't he at Florida State Hospital?
They hadn't transported him yet.
Oh,
Sometimes they are not as prompt as we would like.
so if the court were to sign this order, would he be held until they come and transport him? I'll stipulate to it.
I may approach them, Your Honor, with the order.
And the court does find, based on the stipulation, that he was incompetent to proceed. Okay, good luck, sir. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I will, just out of abundance of curiosity, the bond on this case.
Do you want it? I'm sorry.
The bond on this case, I'm curious about, Your Honor, because I know the victim in this case was also declared incompetent to proceed and sent to Florida State Hospital, so I don't know about the contact provision would be my only concern. If they're both supposed to go to Florida State Hospital, how does that work?
Judge, I would say no intentional contact. That, I know that that's how we've resolved difficult circumstances before.
We'll just make it very vague so nobody can really understand what.
I would assume a no violent contact would probably be the best route. That way they both can receive the treatment they both desperately need. And if there's any sort of violence, that would result in a violation of this bond plus potential new charges.
Yeah,
for-
and why don't we do this? We'll make that change. And I'm not trying to give you any additional work, but if you contact the folks over there, if they need a different language, then the court will certainly accommodate that.
Then I'd have to-
But, you understand what I'm saying? I guess-
Right, no, I understand. My concern is.
We're
when they-
making a ruling, and it may not fit exactly what they need over there, and I just want to be cooperative with what they're trying to do, because that's very different than what we're doing over here. I'm sorry.
I guess my concern is eventually they'll both be transported out of the Florida State Hospital.
Sure.
And then it would still be no violent contact at that point.
Well, you can always ask for it to be changed at that point.
Could we do no violent contact while at Florida State Hospital, Your Honor?
My concern is I don't know if they'll pick him up if it's a no contact. That's why I was suggesting no violent contact, because if he violates that, that's a new charge and violation of bond here no matter what.
I understand. The state would stipulate to no violent contact.
Okay. Could the minutes reflect that the defendant's bond will be changed to no violent contact?
Not for this particular case or the other?
Just this case.
Just this case.
The other case is a different victim who's out of custody. For purposes of today, Your Honor, could the court appoint us to this case?
Yes, the court will appoint in 23 CF 1925.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Appreciate your
Yes, Your
work
Honor.
on that.
Does Madam Clerk need another court date, or are we good without another court date?
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Angelique Johnson. Angelique Johnson. State 23 CF 1760.
That's correct, Judge. This is 23 CF 1760, State versus Miss Angelique Johnson. She's charged with fraud to obtain property under $20,000 and petty theft first degree. Judge, if she'd like to resolve this today, we'd be happy to resolve it with a withhold of adjudication, 3 years probation, $515 in court cost, 50 hours of community service, no going back to Target, and maintain gainful employment. She would also have to take an anti-theft course as a condition of probation.
Ma'am, you do have a right to have an attorney appointed to go over any kind of plea offer with him. Would you like to have an attorney appointed? Yes? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea, and then the attorney, you guys can talk and figure out, their plea will remain open and figure out what your different options are, okay? Okay. Meet up. So we're entering not guilty. We'll come back on October 9th. Before then, make sure and meet up with your attorney, okay? October 9th at 9 a.m. Luke Kimsey. State.
Mr. Kimsey is approaching, Judge. This is State versus Luke Kimsey, 23 CF 1671. Mr. Kimsey is charged with driving while license suspended habitual. If you'd like to resolve this today, it would be an adjudication of guilt, 90 days, Okaloosa County Jail, court cost.
So, Mr. Kimsey, do you wish to have an attorney appointed?
Yes, sir.
Court will appoint the public defender. The court's going to enter a not guilty plea, as I mentioned. Give you a chance to meet with your attorney and talk about it, and then we'll come back on October 9th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
for a pretrial, okay?
Yes, sir.
Meet up, get contact information.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Scott McGilvery, if I pronounce that right. Is Scott McGilvery here?
Your Honor, it was transferred to Division 1.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, that's all I've got for non-inmates.
Your Honor, I did have Mr. Bowles come in.
Okay, great. Is Mr. Bowles here?
Yes, sir.
Come on up to the podium, sir. So this is case number 2023 CF 1807. So I don't have you down as having an attorney appointed.
Right, yes, sir.
You wish to have an attorney appointed?
Yes, sir.
The court will appoint the public defender. The purpose of today's hearing today is just to enter a plea. So I'm going to enter a not guilty plea because that'll preserve your rights until you have a chance to meet with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
We'll come back on pretrial October 9th at 9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay, question?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Get you the contact information. Okay. Mr. Gates, what do we got?
Yeah, I would say you can call the list at this point.
Let's do it. Mr. Medina, I'll skip over and just go to yours,
Yes, sir.
obviously. I do have one more out. Gillian Flores. Gillian Flores.
That's actually mine, Your Honor.
Yes, these are all yours.
I announced for Ms. Flores, Your Honor, I do not see them present.
This is 23 CF 1678. State,
Judge, if Mr. Flores received notice, then we'd be asking a KPS, or asking for a KPS.
are you saying if he received notice?
If he received notice. I
Can you
would-
check and see if he got notice? I don't have,
It looks like Mr. Gates doing it right now.
well, I know he is, but
September
really it's
4th.
not his responsibility.
It looks like the ROR bond has September the 14th as a arraignment day at 3:30 for some reason.
From now on, before we do KPs, we're gonna determine whether or not there's service. So the state can kind of be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir. The only reason
No, I appreciate you doing it. I mean,
Well,
it's,
the issue is it doesn't show on surety bonds, it's only on ROR bonds. If there's an ROR bond and give the court date on a surety bond, it does not list it. So that's the only reason I was able to get the two.
And this one actually does have a surety bond.
Does it? September? Your Honor, I would
so it's
ask,
September 14th, and who,
that would be Judge Brown, but he wouldn't have arraignments at 3:30.
so what do we need to do here today? You want to change it?
Let me
He's
just
gotta get
enter-
notice.
Let me just enter not guilty plea, Your Honor. She's got notice for October the 9th. That way we can make sure that they're in court on time.
Very good. Court will enter a not guilty plea, and we'll come back on pretrial on October 9th. That's a good suggestion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, the next one is Sonny Floyd. Also yours, Mr. Gates. Sonny Floyd. State?
From the judge.
Well,
I'm checking to see if Mr. Floyd was served.
I appreciate it.
Judge, it's on the ROR bond that the next court date was going to be today at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So I would request a KPS.
But then we sent notice showing 9/12/130.
9/12. Okay. So, KPs,
I don't see them as present in court, Your Honor.
court will issue a no bond KPs. Okay. Chloe German. You'll come to the podium now.
Your Honor, in this case on behalf of Ms. Chloe German and 23 CF 1692. At this time, we'll enter a not guilty plea if we can have her case scheduled till October the 11th.
Court will enter a not guilty plea, and the court will will continue to the next pretrial on October 11th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Paul Gunnels before the court in 23 CF 1712. We do have a plea agreement to be filed in Mr. Gunnels' case. May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I did not get the score sheet prior to the hearing, so I'm assuming the state will email a copy of that.
That's correct.
I assume it's not a downward departure.
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
I do not believe it's downward departure.
Would you please announce the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gunnels will enter a plea of no contest as charged in 23 CF 1712. Will be adjudicated guilty. Counts 1 and 2, the felony counts, will be placed on 36 months of probation concurrent. Count 3, which is the misdemeanor count, time served. We'd ask the court to waive his cost of supervision. It says $615 in court cost, $150 public offender fee, required to do substance abuse evaluation within 30 days of his release, any recommended treatment within 60 days of release, random urinalysis, maintain gainful employment, or complete 3 job applications per week. And Mr. Gunnels is entering the plea without the opportunity to review discovery or the FDLE report.
State.
That's correct.
Mr. Gunnels, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Gunnels, you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement. I see those same terms are contained in your written plea agreement you've signed. Have you read this closely?
I have, sir.
And have you gone over it in detail with your attorney and made sure you had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you're waiving some valuable legal rights, one of which is the right to go to trial, force the state to prove their case. You're waiving those rights so you can have a final adjudication. Do you understand that?
I understand,
Do you
sir.
believe that's in your best interest to do that?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement. There'll be an adjudication of guilt on all counts. On the felony counts 1 and 2, court will sentence the defendant to 36 months of probation. On each count, they'll be served concurrent at the same time, okay? So it's
Okay.
basically a single 36 month. Count 3, which is the misdemeanor count, you will get credit for time served. That'll be completed. There are fees and costs that have to be paid while you're on probation. You also have, importantly, the substance abuse evaluation and all the things we referenced involving that. You gone over that? You understand what you need to do on that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, don't wait on that. End up getting violated, come back. This will be a mess. People will be trying to put you in jail.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
When do I need to report, sir?
Report as soon as, well, you probably have a hard time reporting today. So first thing in the morning,
Okay.
okay?
All right, yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wait, Mr. Gunn. I can get
Your Honor, next is going to be Lance Hines. Mr. Hines is before the court at 23 CF 1749. At this time, we'll enter a not guilty plea and ask the court to schedule Mr. Hines for October the 11th.
Very good. The court will accept the not guilty plea, and we'll come back on October 11th on pretrial.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Terrell Knox before the court in 23 CF 1742. At this time, we'll enter a not guilty plea. Ask that this be scheduled for October the 11th.
Very good. The court will accept the guilty plea. We'll come back on October 11th for pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Madam Clerk, I've got one case from Mr. Harper that's in jail, 23 CF 1828. Plea entered. Rogers. Plea was entered. Thought it might have been. Mr. Gates, I had just a couple of yours that were out of custody. You want to try those?
We can, Your Honor. Anything else has either been handled or we can handle.
Okay. I've got one here, Jasmine Harris.
We filed a not guilty plea in that case, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. we'll come back on our regular pretrial. 10:09. Okay, that was the only one I have. That's all I've got for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Medina ready, or we need to take a short break? Okay, why don't we take a short break, and then we'll finish up Mr. Medina's, and we'll go right into the afternoon. Now, the afternoon, I know we've got one contested constitutional issue. Is the other one a plea?
Yes,
It
Your
says
Honor.
plea and sentencing. Is it just an announcement of a plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Prior to the court leaving the bench, may I ask a question?
Sure. Who's the defense?
Your Honor, it's Ms. Merrifield.
Do-
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
The Cottage Formalwear, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formalwear. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446.
of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briar Press.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, Mr. Atkins is before the court in 23 CF 1748. At this time, he's going to plead not guilty. We have a proposed resolution from the state, but he needs to meet with me and discuss his options. So if he could be on the October 11, I think, Your Honor?
It's October 9th. For
no, October 9, yes.
Out of. Okay. Court will enter not guilty, continue until October 9th. And that's 23 CF 1748.
Yes, Your Honor. Next will be John Mark Affleck. We're going to inmates.
That listed as an inmate.
Okay. Michael Anthony Harrison Brown. Your Honor, Mr. Brown is before the court at 23 CF 1643. This was number 5 on the plea day docket. At this time, he will enter.
I've got 1673.
1673, I apologize, Judge.
That's all right, I just want to get the number. Good.
He would enter a plea of not guilty today, and I'd like to keep him on October 9. The state is suggesting maybe come back in a week. He has a court appearance in Santa Rosa County, and I think it would be better if we put him on October 9 for all 3 of his cases.
Very good. The court will continue this till October 9th.
Thank you.
Are you said the other cases?
There were 2 other cases in Okaloosa County. Those are, Madam Clerk, Your Honor, those are 23 CF CF 1228 and 23 CF 438.
Did you get those two?
Do you need those again, ma'am?
No, but this case, 1673, and information has not been filed.
Yes, Your Honor.
You got to let us know that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And enter a plea without it, so jump up.
I was gonna jump in once he was done. That's why I wanted him to be left on next Tuesday. I'm working to get the information I need, and I believe I'll have that information by next Tuesday. But what we could do, since he has a court date in Santa Rosa County, is, I guess, leave it on October 9th, and then once the information gets filed, by next week, Mr. Medina can do a writ plea if not guilty.
Yes, could we have...
Everything else is already on October 9th, I think.
Okay, so we'll just continue this until October 9th, but you do need to have a plea, a written plea.
And we'll do a written plea of not guilty as soon as the state files the information, so he doesn't have to come back in a week.
Very good.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Next is Alexander Michael Buena. Mr. Buena is approaching 23 CF 1816. He's going to be filing a public defender application on the way out, Your Honor. He's going to enter a plea of not guilty and remain on the October 9 docket.
Very good. The court will enter a not guilty plea and come back on October 9th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next will be, I think Craig Chenault is in custody, I think. Yes, he is. Okay. Yeah, I have two French-sounding names, so I got them confused. Dustin D. Choquette. That's what confused me. Mr. Choquette is number 10 on the docket, 23 CF 1795. I'm asking you to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf and continue on October 9 docket.
Court will enter not guilty and come back on October 9th at 9 a.m.
Do the application on the way out. Next is Ian Michael Church, docket number 11, 23 CF 1704. Your Honor, we have an agreement that Mr. Church is signing, worked out with the state. It's for a misdemeanor, so there won't be a score sheet. So Dustin D. Choquette, Your Honor, in 23 CF 1795. Going to be, may I approach, Your Honor?
You may. Thank you.
Sorry, Judge, I need to pull the file out.
That was the last one. That's all right, I'll say. You stated the last defendant's last name is Church. You announced it correctly.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
Then you said Choquette. So.
Well.
We've got Church down. Yes, sir. We've got it.
This is Ian Michael Church.
Correct. 23
CF 1704. I'm sorry, Judge.
That's all right.
Let me pull his file. Under this agreement, Your Honor, Ian M. Church will be resolving his case with adjudication of guilt to a lesser included offense misdemeanor, driving while license suspended or revoked. It's a third or subsequent done as a misdemeanor. Madam Clerk, the statute reference is in there in a parenthetical. There's 10 days Okaloosa County Jail, with the state stipulating that the 10 days has been served, including his time in Walton County. 270 court costs, 150 PD fees, outstanding monetary obligations to collections or lien in 6 months.
Actually, maybe 300 for
Okay, I wrote it up over lunch and I was not sure of that. You want me to change it to 300, Your Honor?
So stated agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the state's
Okay,
agreement.
Mr. Church, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. Those same terms are contained in the written plea agreement. You've signed that, so I assume you've read this closely?
Yes, sir.
Gone over it in detail with your attorney, make sure you had all your legal questions.
Yes, I have.
This is an adjudication of guilt, but it will be to a lesser included charge of a misdemeanor driving on a suspended third or subsequent. The jail sentence that is been ordered in this plea agreement has already been served. And so you basically just got fees and costs. They will be, you'll have 6 months to pay them. And after that, if you don't, we'll go to collections.
Yes, sir.
Question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, next is Carolyn S. Cole. Ms. Cole is before the court docket 12 and 23 CF 1803. Your Honor, she did a similar agreement roughly a month ago when she was in custody, and I'll be referencing those 3 other cases, and in essence, the state's given her concurrent treatment. Thank you. That's a copy for you. It's 9/12. That's good. Thank you.
Let the defense announce the plea.
Yes, Your Honor. May I approach, Judge?
You may.
Your Honor, the state's going paperless, so I learned about that this morning, so I'm going to give the court my copy of the score sheet.
They're trying to go paperless.
Sir?
I said they're trying to go paperless.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm trying to adhere to their mandate.
Like jumping into a real cold lake. You just have to jump in. There's no way.
Thank you.
No way else to do it.
Your Honor, under the agreement that Ms. Cole has entered, there will be adjudication of guilt as charged, concurrent 12 months community control, followed by concurrent 12 months regular probation on the felonies, and that's concurrent with the 3 cases that were previously resolved, and those, Madam Clerk, those 3 case numbers are referenced in the agreement, but they're 22 CF 1831, 23 CF 1500, and 23 CF 1574. And as she does in the other cases, she has to do a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days. My understanding is she's already had that performed. Is that correct? Yes. Yeah, with any recommended treatment to commence within 60 days, random urinalysis, time served on the misdemeanor, 615 court costs, 150 PD fees, maintain gainful employment or complete 2 applications a week, no weapons or firearms.
And the defense is okay with the score sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. State's in agreement, correct?
Yes,
Ms.
this is
Cole?
a concurrent deal we anticipated at the last hearings.
Very good. Ms. Cole, would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So, you've kind of gone through this before, so I'll say it quickly. You heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. I see you've signed the written plea agreement. It contains those. You've gone over it with him. You understand. Obviously, this is running concurrent with your other cases. Just want to make sure you've gone over this in detail with your attorney. Make sure you had all your legal questions answered. about this plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that by entering into this plea agreement, this will be a final resolution of this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you believe it's in your best interest to do this?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication of guilt, concurrent 12-month community control, followed by concurrent 12-month regular probation on the 3 prior felonies as well as this one. Then you've got the substance abuse evaluation and treatment, your analysis, fees and costs that must be paid during the term of the probation. Any questions?
No, sir.
Good luck.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Just one question, is this running concurrent at the same time? Is this going to extend her CC and probation, or is it?
I had a question of that as well.
Your Honor, does the state mind if the court will permit that this go pro-nunk? Is that the right terminology?
No, Your Honor, I think how it should be announced, and I'm sorry that it wasn't written up that way, I should have caught it. The counts are concurrent to each other and concurrent to the probation that she was placed on, I think it was August the 17th. Yeah.
Can it
That's what I-
coterminous as well? Can I write that on there, or is that understood? Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for doing that. I should have.
That was on me.
You used to doing these?
Yeah.
You may.
Thank you. So where it says in the parenthetical concurrent with those other 3 cases, I'm putting a caret concurrent and coterminous. Yeah.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Mr. James Edward Crosby. Your Honor, Mr. Crosby is before the court, docket 1423 CF 1743. At this time, I'd like to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf and have him be on the October 9 pretrial docket, Your Honor.
Court will accept the not guilty plea and come back on October 9th, pre-trial.
What time?
9
o'clock.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next will be Darren Wade Cuellar. Mr. Cuellar, Cuellar, is before the court, docket 1523 CF 1696. I'd like to enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf. He does need to file the public defender application on the way out, and he would he'd be on the October 9 pretrial docket, Your Honor, 9 a.m.
Very good. Your court will enter a not guilty plea. We'll come back October 9th at 9 a.m. Make sure you fill out the public defender fee before you leave, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just give him my card, Your Honor.
Sure.
Your Honor, next is Corey Culver is an inmate. Louis Dwayne Dawson. Mr. Dawson's approaching docket 18. Your Honor, he's before the court in 23 CF 1635. I'm not sure if he's also before the court on the VOP 22 CF 2962. That's the way I had it.
Yes.
So he would like to, I would like to, on his behalf, enter a plea of not guilty in the new law, 23 CF 1635, deny the VOP 22 CF 2962, remain on the October 9 docket, and he knows he needs to do the public defender application, even though he was previously incarcerated.
Very good. The court will enter the not guilty and denial pleas. We'll continue this to the next pretrial, October 9th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Next is Desmond Howard Dean here? Okay. Your Honor, Steve Medina with Desmond Howard Dean. If I may pass on him briefly, Your Honor, I didn't realize he was here, but I have a possible resolution in his case. It's docket 19, 23 CF 1675. If he can have a seat, I'll get with him in a moment, Your Honor.
Very good.
If that's okay.
No, you called the wrong number out. This is Desmond Dean?
Desmond Howard Dean.
That's 23 CF 1698. You just called the Dawson
I
number.
called the number 1675 that was on my cheat sheet that I guess is wrong, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
So Desmond Dean, 23 CF 1698, and I'll hold it and come back and resolve it.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Just want to get it
number.
right.
I went by the cheat sheet. At least I got the name right, I think.
Jonathan Elliott.
Jonathan William Elliott, docket 21, 23 CF 1552. Your Honor, Steve Medina for Jonathan W. Elliott, 23 CF 1820. At this time, he will enter a plea of not guilty, and if he could remain on the October 9 docket, Your Honor.
Very good. The court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Continue this case until October 9th, 9 a.m. Thank you. Patrick Epps.
Your Honor, Mr. Epps is approaching docket 2223 CF 1864. I would like to enter a plea of not guilty on
Let me
this.
try that one again. Give me a number again. I got 1650. 23 CF 1650.
I'm just reading the numbers that I had on the cheat sheet.
So I just want to make sure we get the right
What happened
case.
there. But I'm not going to criticize because I don't know how my assistant keeps up with all these numbers. She's wonderful. In case she's watching on Crestview TV. 23 CF 1650. Mr. Patrick C. Epps will enter a plea of not guilty. And if he could remain on the October 9 pretrial docket, Your Honor.
Very good. So the court letter, not guilty plea, will come back on October 9th at 9 a.m. Okay?
And he's going to file an application for the public defender, even though he's previously informally appointed.
Very good.
Next is Joseph Samuel Green Evans, Jr. Mr. Evans is before the court, docket 24, 23 CF 1815. He would like to enter a plea of not guilty, remain on October, I think it's October 9, and he's going to do a public defender application on the way out.
Very good. Court letter, the not guilty plea, continue the case till October 9th, 9 a.m. Thank you.
And then I have this one out of custody gentleman, Your Honor, I was going to speak with, and other than that, I have a few inmates.
Great, you want to?
Let's do the interpreter, Madam Interpreter, with, you issued a warrant that he was here. This Rylan Del Rosario Jamosa.
Is he here?
Yes, he is, Your Honor. And the last name is Del Rosario.
Del Rosario.
Del Rosario.
And Your Honor, I can represent as officer of the court that I know that gentleman was down the hall and he had some confusion on where he was supposed to be, but I know he's been here for a while.
Very good. Okay. Has he been appointed?
Your
Counselor.
Honor, may I?
Yes.
I was consulting with Mr. Del Rosario, and he has informed Madam Interpreter that he has an appointment with a private attorney on the 23rd of September. He would like to plead not guilty in order to go and consult with this private attorney.
Very good. The court will continue, the court will enter a not guilty plea in his behalf. You must come back and tell your attorney you're hiring 10/9, October 9th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
You want to try and do, let's do this plea. Can we shut this down? Go ahead and see if it pulls up, because I don't know what this is.
So without you starting the meeting, we won't be able to enter the room, because we're joining your meeting.
Okay, and I don't have a number, somebody's got it.
Your Honor, may I step out with Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Oh, that's the one that was,